Your boy fasted for 3 days, man. 3 whole days. What's up? It's your boy Julio from Change Your Algorithm. What's up? I just wanted to jump on here and kind of share my experience with a 3-day fast. I've been kind of tiptoeing around it for quite some time now. Nate did it. He told me some of the results he had. Me personally, I had done a 24-hour fast before. I had done a juice cleanse. I had done a 7-day detox cleanse, but I haven't done a 3-day water fast. If you don't know the benefits, there's quite a lot. Just to give you a quick rundown, I'm not gonna do all of it, but quick rundown is it restarts your whole body. All the old cells die off, all the new cells regenerate, and pretty much you're literally a new version of you. You're reborn. As we're getting older, I want to make sure I'm taking care of myself in all aspects. Fasting is something that also comes up in the Bible. And I had seen a video, with a dude specifically breaking down on how, God says, and when you fast, not if you fast.
Fasting, not optional for the believer. Don't get an out from fasting. Okay. Sermon on the Mount. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, and when you fast, we are expected to fast. He didn't say if you fast. If is a clause that gives you an option. When is a clause that gives you no option.
And that was kind of like the cherry on top where I was like, all right, I really need to do this. So I decided, me and my boy, his birthday was coming up and he had mentioned something about fasting or just kind of starting fresh. So I was like, yo, you down to do a 3-day fast? That way, me and him can kind of hold each other accountable. Because if you know anything about working out, exercising, sticking to certain goals, it does help to have an accountability partner. And then my girl actually decided to jump in as well. First day of my fast.
And you're trying to do 3 days?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
On the first day, I woke up in the morning knowing what the mission was. Drank a little tea, drank my electrolytes, and I was good. But then around lunchtime, I started getting real hungry. And while I'm working, my brain is like, yo, let's eat. And I kept trying to control it and saying, no, we're not eating. This is just the beginning, But your brain will literally start to try to trick you. So instead of reminding me hey, we haven't eaten breakfast or lunch, it started saying oh, let's just get a quick little snack. It's something small, nothing crazy. And I literally almost went one time oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let me just go get a small snack. And I'm like, oh shit, no, I'm fasting. We can't do that. So your brain starts to literally try to bargain with you, which is kind of crazy. So and then I pushed through, kept pushing, kept ignoring the cravings. The fact that my fiance was also fasting with me, it kind of helped because I didn't have to worry about making food for her or seeing her eat in front of me. It was kind of all right, we're both doing this. So the rest of the day was pretty easy for the most part. Day 2 is when it started getting a little tricky. Woke up feeling good, but once I drank my electrolytes and then I started drinking water, before I could even get to my coffee, I was starving. So now I drank coffee, black with a little bit of agave, I think, because you can't have milk, you can't have anything with calories. Coffee kind of tightened up my stomach a little bit, but once again, around lunchtime, I was starving. It started getting really distracting. I was trying to focus on work, but I was like, fuck, I'm hungry. And it was tough. But, we already made this commitment, or at least I know I did, and I was sticking with it. Unfortunately, that night, my niece decided to get into the honor society for her school. We said we would go. I wanted to make sure I was there for her to support, and we knew this was going to be a challenge. Boy, did we know this was going to be a challenge because my sister-in-law already told me she wanted to go to a Korean barbecue spot after the event.
I can help you whenever you just put away and just put it right there. We should trade seeds. I don't.
So we knew it was going to be a challenge, but we were up for it. I said, you know what? This is actually perfect because we made the choice to fast and it was easy to just stay home, stay away from all the temptation. But could you look temptation in the face? Could you look temptation in the face and stick it through? And I was like, you know what? I'm down for it. So me and my girl were like, all right, yeah, we doing this. We were smiling, laughing a little bit because we knew it was going to be tough. Fast forward, as soon as we get there, we sit down. They start asking, okay, who's eating what? You doing hot pot or whatever, either the barbecue or you doing hot pot. And I'm like, oh, I'm not eating. And then my parents, they had actually eaten before the event. So they're like, oh yeah, we're not eating either. We're just gonna hang out. We didn't know this place was like a buffet style. So they're like, nah, you can't really sit down at a table if you're not eating. So we're like, damn, bro, like for real? So after we went back and forth with them and we kind of came to an agreement, like, all right, I kind of understand the situation. It is a buffet style. For all they know, we could just be eating off of everyone's plates for free. So my parents decided to leave. Me and my fiance decided we're just gonna pay for our seat. I mean, that right there is another challenge. You're paying for a seat and you're not eating. So now it's like really making you question, like, are we really gonna go through with this? I had already made the choice, so I was sticking to it. The waiter started telling me, oh, why don't you just have like a water-based soup and you could just have vegetables? I'm like, nah, I'm doing a water fast. Like, I can't eat anything that has calories. I can't do that.
Yeah, we also the dessert or the food over there, also with the hot food area. Whatever, french fry, chicken wings.
They're like, oh, but like, what is it for? Like, is it religion? Like, they're pretty much trying to break the value of my commitment. I stood strong on it. I'm like, hey, bitch, I'm not doing it. My girl starts like kind of breaking. She's like, bro, I'm not trying to pay for a seat if I'm not gonna eat. So I'm like, you know what? You didn't choose to do this anyway. You're only doing it for me. So you can do your thing. Like 48 hours, 48 hours is pretty solid. If you've never done a water fast before, I would say start with 24 hours. Then if anything, you can do a 48 and then eventually do a 72-hour fast. I had done a 24. My girl had done 7 days before, which was crazy. But that was a while back. So she was like, oh, I think I'm gonna break it. I was like, you know what, do your thing. At least only one of us is paying for a seat and not gonna eat.
You sure look excited, trader.
I am.
They start going to the buffet. They start ordering what meats they want: chicken, steak, shrimp. And I'm not gonna lie, this is when it was really tough. Like, I couldn't even talk. I was just like, not even trying to talk. I was locked in. It really was tough. I really want to go back to that spot to this day. Oh man, my girl, I don't know if she was doing it on purpose. This girl starts emphasizing every crunch, every spoonful she ate. Like, legit. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God, this is so good. I thought she was doing it on purpose. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, seriously. And I'm like, all right, bro. But remember, she hadn't eaten in 2 days. So her reactions, were authentic. So we finally make it through. And when I tell you, on the way home, I'm seeing every food spot. Every restaurant is like, every logo, every symbol is screaming at me. I'm like, bro, I never noticed how many restaurants are on the way to the crib, like on the way home. Like, so I'm like, all right, this is crazy. I get home, my girl's satisfied. She's like, them sighs when you get home after a big meal and you just like, like just all over the place with it. So I'm like, all right, bro. Now it's starting to get me mad low key because I'm like so hungry that I'm getting frustrated. So now I start telling her like, fuck man, I should have just ate. Like, this dumbass fast because I'm literally getting angry, And then my boy stopped checking in with me. And then when I called him, I'm like, yeah, bro, I went to a restaurant. Like, man, this shit was tough. I didn't eat. And like, he's like, damn, you for real? You didn't eat? I was like, nah, bro, I just sat there, took it like a G. He's like, wow. He's like, damn, that's what's up. But the way he said what's up, I felt like he already bailed. So I'm like, I didn't even want to ask because I felt like if he would have admitted, I would have been pissed. So I was like, yeah, bro. So I was like, all right, man, we'll talk tomorrow, man. Let's stay locked in. He's like, yeah. Next day, I wake up. Third day was the toughest. I wake up and I'm like lightheaded. I drank my electrolytes, drank my water, and I'm still like, fuck, I'm like legit dizzy. My girl thought I was exaggerating. I had to sit down and really just kind of gather myself. Once the electrolytes kicked in, took my vitamins, my water, and I got fully hydrated. Then I felt a little better. I didn't even want to drink coffee that day because I was like, man, it's about to dehydrate me. So I just stuck with the water. The rest of that day was a little hard. We had another event, and unfortunately, this was at a bar. Went to the bar for the networking event. I'm seeing a dude eating this crazy looking burger. He said it was chorizo pulled pork sandwich. Thankfully, I was able to thug it out. It was tough. Even while I was networking with people and talking, I kept like glancing at my phone, trying to wait because I had to wait till 9 o'clock so I can eat. And like even while we were talking, I'm listening, I'm like thinking about food. Like that was probably one of the hardest things. Yeah, so finally I made it. I was supposed to come home. I had a bone broth specifically that I had purchased to break my fast with. It's really high in protein, very clean. I had some beef jerky and some chomps to kind of, you know, start to warm up my intestines and my belly. But I looked over and these people were just networking still. Nate's still getting it in, Sam's getting it in, they're having a good time. So I was like, damn, I didn't want to like tell them like, yo, let's go just because of me, just because of my fast. So I did what I could do. I ordered a soup at the bar, ordered some crackers, and I went in. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the best soup to probably break my fast with. It was a clam chowder, but damn, that shit was fire. It was delicious. Man, I could taste everything in the soup. Me and this dude were chopping it up for a while, but like I told him I'm breaking my fast, and he understood. And like, bro, I was just quiet. I was just eating, bro, just at peace. And I was like, so thankful for the food, man. So thankful for the nourishment. Blessed to have the finances to just order a soup. And I would say for me, to be honest, the best thing I probably pulled from it was perspective. On that first day alone, towards the end of the day, I started thinking about dinner. I started thinking about the foods that I've been blessed to eat. Being blessed with a Puerto Rican mom who could fucking cook. Surrounded by titis who are fire in the kitchen. Like, I was thinking about when me and my boys went to Colombia. We had this amazing dinner. I had this coco limonada, which was like my first time having this. It was like a coconut lemonade that they do in Colombia. It was amazing. I started thinking about this spot called House of Wings in Miami. It has amazing chicken wings. You start to really appreciate food and the access that we have to food. If you have access to food like that, you know, and you start to think about like people who are less fortunate. And it's really a spiritual journey, man. You know, obviously you get some health benefits. I feel like I lost like three pounds of like just like probably old stuff that was just in me. Working out wise, I did stay active on the first day. I worked out twice on the first day, which probably wasn't the best idea, but I did. Second day, I worked out light. Third day, I couldn't do it. I was just waiting to get it over with. I didn't want to like burn up any more fat. Some of the stuff I pulled from it was definitely gratefulness. It's definitely something to build your spirit, your mind, your body, and just kind of give yourself time to really get in alignment. It also encouraged me to stay off of social media. Bro, you don't realize how much videos people share with you about food, recipes, trying for, at least in me and my circle. All these ads were popping up for food, snacks, restaurants. It kind of encouraged a little bit of a social media fast, even though I had to stay on it to like engage with YouTube. But yeah, there's definitely some benefits to it. Health, spiritual, alignment, and gratitude. I would say those are the things that you'll more than likely pull from it. If you're ever interested in it, definitely do your research before you do it. Make sure your body's healthy. Some people say you should get a blood test and everything like that before. I trust in my body. You know, I'm pretty healthy, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of benefits to it. And that was just my experience. I hope you either pulled inspiration from it or some insight. And even if you don't do it right now, like I said, you can always try a 24-hour fast and then gradually move up to a 72-hour fast. There's no rush. Will I do it again? Maybe once a year, but I'm also going to try to do a 24-hour fast like once a month. I have a goal to do one 24-hour fast once a month just to kind of give my intestines and my gut a break, and then maybe once a year around my birthday I'll do like a 72-hour fast. But yeah, besides that, I hope y'all stay locked in, man. Keep chipping away, keep changing your algorithm. We got more podcasts on the way, more comedy content. We're gonna be working on our first feature film soon, as well as hopefully our 6-part episodic series for Traffic in the City. So definitely stay locked in, all right? Holla at y'all, man. Peace.